Okay. We're recording.
Okay, great. Well, thank you. Welcome everybody to our Pink Power hosting Eric Johnson tonight. Eric is the creator of Teamzy, and Teamzy has been a system that has allowed me to maintain my Plexus business during a really tough time in my family's life. And I don't know, I just think very highly of the system. I know several of the people on our team are using it, but I want everybody to know about it. And also my sidelines, Vicki and Katie, and I'm not sure who else is here, but I'm so glad to see you all tonight. Anyway, Eric is a dad, a husband. He is, according to his website, he's passionate about God, his family, and helping people improve their health, wealth, and relationships. So I'm just so happy to have him here tonight. Thanks, Eric.
Thank you very much for that introduction. My name is Eric Johnson, creator of Teamzy, and hopefully we'll help you with some of those things tonight. Okay, so pardon my sparse background. We bought a new home and we're in the process of moving, and the only thing left in my office is basically my computer and my desk so that I can do teachings like this. I'm really excited. What we're going to do tonight, a couple things. First, I will show you Teamzy tonight, which is a software. It lives on the internet. It's in the cloud. It's really easy to access. Everywhere you go, you can have it on your phone, your computer, whatever. It's going to help you do all your income-producing activities in your business in less than 1 hour a day. Okay, I'll show you that. It's super easy. Tells you, you'll know exactly what to do every day. No planning. It's no muss, no fuss. But first off, I want to teach you a little bit about the philosophy that Teamzy is based on. Teamzy is built on relationship marketing. It's a system. It's a lead generation system that puts relationships first. It's the complete, total opposite of what's commonly taught in our industry. The go for no, the cold invite, blasting everybody you know with a cold message, cold sharing links, videos, all those things that made you feel icky when you had to do them. Anybody relate to that? Or maybe you don't do it because it makes you feel icky. There's a better way to do it. Okay, there's a better way. It's more authentic. It comes from the heart, and it's easy to follow. That's what I'm going to show you tonight. So first, I'm going to take you through a presentation, teach you a little bit about relationship marketing. And then I'll take you into Teamzy. I'll show you how easy it is to set up and how to crush a power hour in more like 30 minutes in Teamzy. Okay, sound good? At the end, we'll do an open Q&A so you can ask me anything you want. So everyone's muted now. Keep you guys muted as I present. If you feel the spirit move you and want to say something, you can unmute and do that. Otherwise, we'll do Q&A at the end. All right. Where's Teamzy? Hold on. Oh, no. First, I'm doing my presentation. Here we go. All right. So this is what I want to talk to you about first. How to leverage relationship marketing to become a hashtag power hour boss. Okay. A little bit about my backstory. I know a lot of you are meeting me for the first time. I come from a background of professional consulting and coaching. I've been teaching people how to build their business for 15 years. Most of my grown-up life. Well, I was grown up before that, but I hadn't really grown up, if you know what I mean. But anyways, I teach people how to build their business. I fell into network marketing by accident. I found some products that literally changed my life. And as I started looking at this opportunity, I realized, wow, this is great. You can be an entrepreneur without actually having to invest any money. Somebody else handles the customer service, the fulfillment, the shipping. It's a great opportunity to build your own business, right? So I started looking at tools that in most professions, there are professional tools that help you leverage your time and be efficient. And I couldn't find anything. I couldn't find anything out there for direct sellers that was any good, that wasn't overly complicated, and nothing, absolutely nothing that was based on building relationships. Everything seemed to be based on this find them, fleece them, and forget them kind of philosophy, which kind of grosses me out, to be honest with you. So long story short, I found some really smart partners and we built Teamzy, and that's kind of what's happened, okay? And in just a little over 2 years, we've got 70,000 people using Teamzy. It's been amazing and humbling and all that, but we'll get to that in a minute. First, I want to talk to you about relationship marketing. Relationship marketing, what is it? A lot of times people hear this term and they think this means selling stuff to friends. Or they think it's, oh, it's just, you know, it's like singing Kumbaya with your customers, but that stuff doesn't really work. In fact, some of you will come away from tonight and you'll jump into Teamzy and you will blow up your business in a good way. And you'll still have people in this business going, that stuff doesn't work, even though you're showing them the results. Relationship marketing is more than just being nice and building relationships and being friendly and all that good stuff. It's actually a lead generation system. It's a lead generation system. That's a system that initiates consumer interest or inquiry into the products or services of a business. Bottom line is, when you start a business, one of your first decisions is, what lead generation system will I employ to build my business? And you have different choices, right? Relationship marketing is one of those choices, actually the most effective one and the one that feels the best. But I want you to have a mindset shift. Your business is not marketing world-class nutritional products. That's not your business. You're like, wait, I thought it was. No, your business is lead generation. You're in the lead generation business. As business owner, your job is to generate new leads for your business. Make sense? No matter how busy you are in a day, closing sales, whatever, if you're not doing the work that generates new business for you, you didn't work on your business today. And that's what I mean by the mindset shift. Now, the good news is, developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. Developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. So you're in the lead generation business. You're generating new leads so that, not so you can sell them and recruit them, but so you can develop and deepen relationships with them. Make sense? If your focus is on developing and deepening relationships with the people you know and meeting new people and doing that as well, you'll have a huge business. Okay? You'll have a huge business. What we do with relationships in relationship marketing is we turn them into advocates by investing time in providing outstanding service. We turn relationships into advocates by investing time in providing outstanding service. Just a real quick contrast. The traditional method has you burning through relationships, going for no. You guys know what I mean when I say going for no? Have you guys? Yeah. Going for no. And in the process, damaging relationships. People literally cross the street to avoid you after that, right? In relationship marketing, you connect with just as many people. But instead of driving them away by doing it, by having a self-centered approach, you're actually investing time in people, helping them, investing in the relationship, and what you're doing to all the people. Some people will say, yeah, I'm interested right now. But the people who are not interested right now, over time, they're becoming advocates for you. As opposed to chasing them away, you've got an army of advocates. It's an amazing difference. Okay, next principle. This is being recorded. I know I'm blasting through this stuff fast, but I want to cover a lot for you guys, okay? So you may come out of this call feeling like you just sipped water from a fire hose, and that'll be good. Then I know that you got a lot of value for the time. Next principle is this one. Relationship marketing depends on trust. Relationship marketing depends on trust. In other words, if you're a jerk, this ain't going to work, okay? Now, the traditional way can work if you're a jerk, but this won't. Relationship marketing depends on trust. Trust makes the work fun. You don't have to convince people. If they trust you even a little bit, you get right to helping them. Also, trust takes the ickiness away. There's no icky feeling when there's some trust. Okay, so you don't have to worry about that anymore. Also, you get to go for yes. Instead of going for no, you're going for yes. Okay? So how do you build trust? I told you this was a system. And then tonight, you're going to get the basics of the system of how to consistently connect with people and build trust with them. But I'm going to give you the 4 essential ingredients tonight. 4 essential ingredients to building trust. Number 1 is chemistry. Chemistry. Number 2 is character. I'm going to go through them quickly, then I'll explain them to you. Character is number 2. Number 3 is competence. Competence. And number 4 is consistency. Chemistry, character, competence, consistency. All right? So let's talk about chemistry first. Chemistry is where you have common ground with someone. What is it about you they can relate to? Okay, what is it about you they can relate to? In other words, it's hard to do business with somebody you don't like. Is that true? Yeah. And I don't know if you guys have heard this statistic, but 86% of North Americans say they would prefer to do business with someone they consider a friend. Would you say that's true? I mean, even sometimes a friend might be a stretch, but when you feel like you're being treated that way by a business, doesn't it make you want to go out of your way to shop there or use that business? It's the same with this. You're looking for chemistry. You're looking for common ground with people. Okay? You got to listen, find out what you have in common, and find that common ground with people. Okay, let's keep going. I could go off on a tangent on this because a lot of people, especially on social media, they spend a lot of time highlighting differences. Have you noticed that? expressing opinions and highlighting differences. As business owners, your job is to find common ground. Number 2 is character. Character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you are relatable. Okay, character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you are relatable. Please notice that character is not something you have, it's something you do. Okay, character is not something you have, it's something you do. A lot of times we feel like it's an intrinsic part of us, and we get wounded and offended if we feel like someone's questioning our character. Anybody ever feel that way? I get that way. I call it righteous indignation, right? The truth is, though, people won't know your character if you're not demonstrating your care for them. So just keep in mind, character is something you need to demonstrate daily and consistently if you want people to trust you. Number 3 is competence. Competence is when you demonstrate you're good at what you do and that you're a business person. There's 2 pieces to this. Competence is when you demonstrate you're good at what you do and you're a business person. Can you help me with my specific health issues? Do you know enough about your product to help me get on the right program? Question 1. Kristina looked at me like, heck yes, I do. That's good. There's confidence right there. Confidence walking in the building. Second question. Do I trust you to mentor me in this business? Do I trust you to mentor me in this business? Anybody new? Do I have anybody new on the call? Any newbies? A lot of times when we're new, obviously you don't have confidence yet. And traditionally we've been taught to fake it till you make it. You guys ever heard that before? Fake it till you make it. So remember, we're talking about building trust. So I want to reiterate probably what's obvious to you. Don't fake anything. You need to be authentically you. If you're not competent yet, that's okay, because your team is. You lean into your team's competence, okay? I'm brand new, but I am one text message away from the absolute expert on this topic. I can answer any question for you in 5 minutes, hopefully. Right? It may take a few texts. The point is, lean into the competence of your team. Same thing with your business. Yes, I am new, but I'm sponsored by one of the top people in the company. We're going to plug into the training program together. It's the best place to be. Make sense? Competence, demonstrating when you're good at what you do and you're a business person. Principle here before we move on to number 4 is this. When people are going to do business with you, they only care about 3 things. Okay, can I trust you? Do you care about me? And are you good at what you do? Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Are you good at what you do? Very few people will ask you these questions because they are not articulated, they are felt. I call these heart questions. They're questions of the heart. Okay? And if you get objections from somebody, an objection is a signal that these questions are being asked, that they don't have the answer to these questions yet from you. Okay? So yes, learn to overcome your objections. Kristina's been through some of my training on that. She can share some of those points with you guys. But understand, when you overcome an objection, you still have to invest in the relationship. The goal is to get rid of these questions through relationship building. Eventually, they will have no doubt that all 3 of these are affirmative. Make sense? Next, number 4 is consistency. Consistency. Who's parents? Let me see parents. Just a quick hand raise. How important was being consistent with your kids to develop trust? Anything more important? That's hard too, wasn't it? Really hard. I'm constantly going, did you already ask mom this question before I answer? Here's the principle. People respect consistency and desire it for themselves. People respect consistency and desire it for themselves. Probably no other thing is more important for building trust than being consistent. In everything, right? Great book I'm going to recommend to you. This principle is paraphrased from one of the chapters in this book. How many of you like to read personal development type stuff? Okay, well, even if you don't, write this one down. It's a great one. It's called Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion by Robert Cialdini. Okay, Psychology of Persuasion, Influence. Such a great book. He talks about this, how people respect consistency and desire it for themselves. He actually talks about the desire to be consistent is actually one of the main motivators of human beings. We want to be consistent. We want it so bad. We want to be consistent with people around us, sometimes negatively, And we want to be around people who we see being consistent in something good. This is why people, by the way, tell you that they think you're an inspiration. Has anyone ever told you you're inspiring to them? And you wonder why? Let me just tell you, look, some of you may think I'm inspiring tonight. I have to tell you that I was pulling a nail out of the wall today, and I bopped myself in the head with a hammer. I had a goose egg like this big on my head today. It's still there a little bit. I mean, that's the most ridiculous thing you could probably picture. I looked like one of the Three Stooges. My point is, all of us are like that, right? But people see us being consistent, and they respect it. They're inspired by it. Doesn't matter all of our foibles and errors and silly things that we do, okay? And so people see you doing it, and they are inspired, and they want to be near it. Being consistent builds trust. It also attracts people to your business. It's so cool. Okay, let me just ask you guys a question. How many of you are consistent product to the product? You use your products as part of your lifestyle. It's made a difference. Some of you, it's life-changing, right? Good. Who's consistent sharing their journey, consistent sharing their journey, sharing their business, going on social media, sharing what they're doing? A few of you? Okay. The question that I want to really ask you is on the screen, which is, are you as consistent with your relationships? Zig Ziglar would call this the checkup from the neck up. Okay? And what I mean is actually staying in touch with people. Staying in touch with people. See, here's the principle is that people won't believe you till they see you. You go on, let's say you go on social media and you share, oh my gosh, this has been life-changing. It's great. I'll just tell a story. Good friend of mine had stage 4 cancer, and they put him in palliative care. Some of you guys know what that means. It means that they've stopped treating the cancer. There's nothing they can do. Through amazing nutrition and nutritional products, guess what? 2 PET scans negative. Amazing, right? Amazing story. And I encouraged him, go on social media and share your story. And he did. He shared his story. He said, I can't believe it. Cancer-free 2 times in a row now. I'm still in palliative care, but the nutrition has put the cancer on hold. Who wants to join me in my journey? Pretty powerful, right? And guess what? He had, 300 comments, people saying, wow, this is great. It was great because his story was amazing. But guess what? He has 4,000 friends. Where's the rest of them? Why didn't everybody comment? Why didn't everybody jump on board and join his team and see what he's doing? What you guys need to understand is the majority of the people that you know are watching you like you're a TV show. They're not engaging with your posts, but they're seeing them. They're excited for you in your journey. They think it's really neat. Those of you guys who've had life-changing changes in your health, they're happy for you. But they don't believe you are actually inviting them because they haven't heard from you, maybe in 10, 15, 20 years. At least not directly from you. Does this make sense? They're watching you, they're so excited for you, but if you want them to know that you're inviting them on your journey, you need to be in contact with them, okay? Relationship building is a contact sport. You have to be in regular contact with people. I know your time is scarce, but I will show you tonight how you can be in contact with everybody regularly. Teamzy makes it so easy. Here's your principle. Investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. Investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. Just a quick example on this, and then we'll jump into Teamzy. How many of you, let me see your faces. If you're hiding behind your cameras, turn them on. How many of you guys have ever received a card from somebody you care about where they wrote a handwritten message, and in the, right? Okay, Nancy got one. She's good. Her husband's not in trouble over there. You get a card like that, and you open it up, and it had an emotional impact on you. Anybody ever get a card like that? Hopefully everybody, right? Who's got a significant other? Hopefully it's the same hands or somebody's in trouble. My point is you get a card like that and you read it and it's amazing. It's even better than if somebody tells you something sometimes, isn't it? When you read it. Now, question for you. After you got a card like that, how many of you are able to just crumble it up and throw it away afterwards? Like, oh, that was nice, and just get rid of it. Anybody good recyclers? You guys save them, right? You save them? You have a special place where there's a big pile of cards somewhere? Like sometimes you even go out and get a pretty box. You've got a special drawer. It's overflowing and you think, I wish I could get rid of some of these, but you just can't get rid of them. Are you with me? Okay, here's another example right here. I recently got this. This is a happy birthday postcard from my insurance salesman. And you guys ever get these? Nancy's laughing. I get these from my insurance salesman. Funny thing, this is last year's, and I got one. My birthday was last month. He sent me the same one again, twice in a row. Now it's really valuable, right? Now it's a matching set. My point is, when you get these from the dentist or whatever, do you keep these in the special place with the other cards? How many of you throw these away? No problem. Absolutely. These go right in the trash. What's the difference? It's still a birthday card, right? This has no value for us because it took no time. Does it make sense? It's the investment of time and connecting with somebody that deepens a relationship. The handwritten card deepens the relationship. In fact, here's something cool. Now that we've talked about it, I want you guys to go into your special drawer box where you keep your cards tonight and pull one out of the middle and read it. What's going to happen is you're going to still have an emotional impact, maybe even stronger the second time, right? But I'm telling you right now, I'm looking at this card, it's still not impacting me emotionally. This one goes right in the trash. It took no time, no investment. It doesn't have any value. Does it make sense? Now, I'm not saying you need to go out and write people letters and cards all the time, though they will save them forever and often pass them on to their descendants, right? How many of you have letters from somebody you care about that's passed away and you treasure them? It's amazing. So you don't need to write letters and cards all the time, but that is something you should be doing, especially for your best people, your best customers, right? But you should be connecting with people. Even something like Facebook Messenger, text message, you can connect and make somebody's day. I'm going to show you that in a little bit, okay? As opposed to a general post. Okay. I think I have one more slide and then we'll jump into Teamzy. So you get the idea. Investing time, connecting with people, only way to deepen a relationship. Okay, so all philosophically, how many of you guys are with me? Relationship marketing is the way to go. Yay, yeah. But it has to have a system to it. You can't go willy-nilly into this business. You have to have a system to follow. And if you want to duplicate with people you're bringing onto your team, you need to go, here's the system, just follow the steps. You need a way to stay in contact with all your relationships. Know when to contact them. In other words, who am I contacting today? I don't know. How many of you guys have gone through that? Just know, here's who's up today. This is who you contact today. I don't need to think about it. Just do it. Also, what am I going to say when I contact them? I don't want you staring at your screen trying to think of the perfect message. You need to learn just how to get conversations started quickly and easily so you don't get stuck in analysis paralysis. And then make sure that nobody falls through the cracks. Make sure that nobody falls through the cracks. How many of you have had somebody fall through the cracks? All right, let me do it. How many of you are human beings? Right, you got to have a system. All right, so let me show you the system. Okay, now you're looking at my Teamzy dashboard. You guys see that? Okay. Teamzy dashboard. This is the Plexus version, ready to go. First off, before I even show you this, I want you guys to know that those of you who haven't used it yet, you can get a 30-day free trial at Teamzy.com. Okay, Teamzy.com, 30-day free trial, no credit card asked for anything weird. We just want you to use it. Honestly, I want you to use it for 30 days because I know that if you do, you'll generate business and it'll pay for the subscription. Okay, that's what I want. Go use it for free, and it's a win-win if you do that, right? So go use it for free. Let your team members who aren't on the call know to go to Teamzy.com to get their free trial started. When you first come into the free trial, you'll drop into a setup wizard that helps you set it up. I'll take you through that in a second to show you. Quick tour of the dashboard here. The top are your goals. We're going to set this based on your income goal. Okay. How many prospects you'll connect with each day, how many customers you'll connect with each day, and how many ambassadors you'll connect with each day. Make sense? And then your power hour, this is exactly what we're talking about. This tells us who's up next, who to connect with. I'll show you in a minute. It even tells us what we could say. It gives us some scripts that we can use, and it all logs right here, so it's done. There's no going back and tracking. So let me show you how to set this up. I'm going to relaunch this setup wizard right here from my settings. And hey, I know that guy. Here's what we're going to do. 3 things in the setup wizard. We're going to set an income goal. We're going to create a why and get your contacts in so you can be organized. Okay, so let's do it. First thing we'll do is set an income goal. What's your income goal 12 months from now? What level do you want to be at? Okay, so I put 150,000. My goal was in 12 months to be making $150,000 a year. Okay. What's yours? Put your number in there. All right, now I'll hit continue. And what Teamzy does is it backward engineers from that number. It tells me what to do to get to it. How cool is that? So in this case, Teamzy says, I need to connect with 4,348 people over 12 months to hit that number. That's a lot, right? How many think that's a lot? How many of you think that it'd be nuts to try to get to 150 grand my first year? Be honest, it's okay. But then if I told you I was going to connect with 4,348 people, you go, he might be able to do that. Here's the cool thing. The next page breaks this down into bite-sized chunks. So now I'm going to break it into 3 groups: my prospects, the customers I have, and my ambassadors. Okay. And then I break it down yearly, monthly, weekly, and daily. So that huge number breaks into something I can do. Connect with 9 prospects a day, 6 customers a day, and 4 ambassadors. What is that? 19 people. 19 people. That's 20 minutes in Teamzy. I'll show you once you get the hang of it. Okay. Now let me just show you this. You can edit these. That's a suggestion. Let's say you're brand new and you have nobody on your team. You can make that a 0. Put the 4 over here on prospects. Okay. Same thing with customers. If you have no customers, you can just go, okay, well, I'm just going to do the same numbers and put 0 on that goal and 0 on that goal because I don't have any of those yet. Make sense? Okay. I'm going to put them back though for sake of demonstrating for you guys. I changed that first number from 9 to 10 because I just would rather connect with 20 people than 19. Anybody like that? I'm just weird like that. I like everything to be nice and round. Okay. These goals are, let me just explain what these are. This is connecting. Connecting with prospects, connecting with customers, connecting with ambassadors. The goal is not to sell. It's not to recruit. It's just to connect. We call it the make someone's day mindset. The goal is just to connect and make their day. Okay? And what we're going to do when we do that is actually have a conversation with somebody before we throw their business down their throat. Make sense? Okay. Next, the next goal here are invites. The goal is 3 here. An invite is when I'm actually inviting somebody specifically to something that will lead to a purchase of a product or joining my team. That's what's called an invite. Okay. So we're going to do that when it's appropriate through our conversations that we're starting. And then ads. This is my goal, to add 3 people to my list every day, just to find new people that I haven't put in Teamzy, meet new people, and put them on my list daily. Okay. Again, you can edit all these. They're a suggestion. When you have them the way you want them, click continue. And then your dashboard, let me show you how this looks. Your dashboard's now set up to those goals: 10 prospects, 6 customers, 4 ambassadors. Make sense? Okay. I'm going to jump back in to where we left off, which is finding your why. Finding your why. Just really quick, how many of you have been drilled incessantly about you need to find your why and figure out what your big why is, to the point where you're like, oh God, is he going to talk to us about this again? Okay, real quick question. How many of you have a written why statement that you have read today? Anyone? Okay, so I guess you do need to hear about this one more time. Here's the thing, just really quick. Did you guys know the statistic? 1 out of 2 people quit the business their first year. Anyone heard that before? 1 out of 2 people will quit the business their first year. How many of you have been in the business more than a year? And you've recruited some people to your team? Does that sound about right? How disappointing is that? You work so hard for those people. 1 out of 2 quits the first year. Do you think it's because the opportunity is not great? Did the product suddenly not be good anymore? Why do you think people quit? People quit, quite simply, because we're quitters. All of us are, present company included. But there are exceptions. There are times where we stand firm and we persevere and we succeed. Every single one of you has muscle memory for both, for quitting and for succeeding. The difference between the two is you succeed when you have a reason to. And if your reason for being in this business and succeeding in this business is weak, you'll probably quit. Okay, this is just the truth of the matter. This is why we built the My Why process into Teamzy. But the good news is, for those of you who know this, but you haven't done it yet because you think you need to go to a sweat lodge in Sedona and sit with your inner child to figure out your why, You don't need to do all that. It's really not that complicated. Here's the truth. You already know your why. It's in your heart. We just need to pull it out so that we can put it in front of your face so we can reprogram your brain with it. Okay? We want to follow our heart, but you know that we follow our brain. Follow your heart is a nice thing to say, but until you can align your brain with it, your brain runs the show. You were designed in an amazing way, and your mind was designed to save you trouble and confusion, and it automates our life. How many of you have ever driven home and pulled into the driveway and thought, how the heck did I get home? I don't even remember driving home. Has that ever happened to you? This is how your mind automates your life. You can actually drive without being conscious. It's really scary. And our life is done primarily, 85% of everything we do is done by our subconscious based on patterns that we've written. It makes our lives easier. It takes the overwhelm away. Isn't that crazy? So you need your why so that you can start aligning your life with your heart. Now, look, I'm going to take you through. It's really simple. There's 5 questions that we ask in Teamzy just to get you thinking about this. And I'm going to take you through my story as an example, okay? Just so you can see how I went from shallow to deep, and it made all the difference for me. Make sense? And you'll go through this with your own story, obviously. Go through this process, get your first why together, and then hopefully you'll take your team here and get them getting this done, okay? So that it's no longer just some sort of concept, but something that people can actually work with so they don't quit. So the first question, why did you become an ambassador? Okay, so in my story, I was actually at one time a Beachbody coach. That's my story. That's where I was. And I found Beachbody. You guys are familiar with that company? It's very similar. Long story short, I lost 60 pounds in 3 months through exercise and nutrition. And so I looked different. And people were asking me, oh my gosh, what are you doing? How many of you have a story like that where people thought, wow, you look healthy. What are you doing? And they were asking me all the time, what were you doing? And I would just tell them, oh, I did this thing, you know. And finally, my wife said, you need to be a distributor because you could be getting paid for all those people who refer off to that company. I thought, that's a good point. So I signed up, okay? Next question, what do you hope to accomplish? In my case, I just wanted to make $500 a month extra money. Anybody relate to that goal? I just wanted $500 a month extra money. I just thought, wow, could I do that? I remember asking my sponsor, do you think I can make $500 a month sharing this? He said, yeah, totally. So I said, okay, sign me up. That was my goal. Next question, why is that important to you? In my case, I wanted to take that $500 a month and put it in the bank. I just wanted to save it. I didn't even have a plan for it yet. I just wanted to put it in the bank, okay? Now, just to kind of give you guys some context on that, in my situation, I told you in the very beginning of our talk tonight that my industry was coaching and consulting. And specifically, I worked with mostly real estate agents, helping them build their business, which was a good choice because that industry was always booming until the Great Recession hit, the end of 2008. You guys remember that? How many of you remember that? Of course you remember that. And real estate took a 12-month vacation. It just didn't happen, which meant nobody was hiring real estate coaches. And so along with half the country, I was out of work. And my wife was an amazing stay-at-home mom, and we had to figure stuff out quick. And we did. We were blessed. We made it through the recession intact. But we used our savings up. And when the recession ended, we were in this paycheck to paycheck lifestyle for the first time in a long time. And I know a lot of you guys have been there and can relate to that. And so when I came into the network marketing opportunity, I was going on almost 7 years without saving any money. And so I thought, wow, if I could put $500 a month in the bank, that would make me feel so much better about things. You guys relate to that? So it was really an emotional need to put that money in the bank. So as I'm going through this process, some of these things are kind of hitting me. Like I hadn't stopped to think about it because when you're in the just trying to survive, when you're in survival mode, you don't think about all this stuff. No, true? You're just like, I need to get $500, put it in the bank. Next question, what would achieving this mean for you and your family? When I was presented with this question, I thought about it for a minute and I thought, well, if I could save that money for long enough in the bank, I will buy a new home for my family. That's really what I wanted, was to buy a new home for my family. We'd outgrown our home. We mentioned at the beginning of the call, we were just chit-chatting. We've got 4 kids. And we're just on top of each other. There was no place to be. Nobody had any privacy. I just dreamt of having a bigger home for us. And also I dreamt of coming home from my corporate job and living at home office, building my business, being with my family. There was no way I could do it. Even my wife and I, our bedroom was also the nursery. So everyone shared a room, including us, but we shared it 3 ways. Well, 5 ways if you count dogs. Okay, so long story short, I wanted to buy a new house. Last question. Why is that meaningful? How does this make you feel? Again, guys, these questions, they're just to get you thinking, okay? Why is that meaningful? How does this make you feel? And as I really dug into that last question, is buying a new home a meaningful goal? It felt kind of shallow to me. You know, meaningful goals to me are like, you know, I want to be a billionaire so I could give $100 million to the kingdom, you know, or something like that. That's more meaningful, right? But I just really wanted a new house for my family. And as I really started thinking about why, well, how does this make me feel? I kind of had a light bulb go off. I had one of those aha moments, if you will. Here's what I realized. It wasn't that I needed a new home. It was that home represented family. And I realized that I was not part of my family. I just wasn't there. My kids were growing up without me. They would see me in the morning. I would get up, you know, say goodbye to them on my way to work. They're still in their pajamas. I'd kiss them goodbye. I'd come home from working. They were already in their pajamas getting ready for bed. I was the good morning and good night daddy. And I realized that nothing was going to change because here I was working in my career, and I was successful, but I wasn't getting to be present for my kids or my wife. And nothing was ever going to change. In fact, if we ever wanted to get ahead financially, I'd have to work more. And you guys relate to that? And I realized looking at this, what 5 minutes ago was going to be a $500 a month extra side hustle. I looked at it and said, wow, this opportunity, however, has no limits. It can go as big as I want it to go. And I get to do it from home. I get to be with my family. I get to actually do it with my wife. And something happened to me. As I'm going through this process, I realized something. My career, which I was so proud of, had brought me to a dead end. I was completely stuck. There was nowhere to grow. The network marketing opportunity that was before me had no limits. And I switched my thinking. Instead of thinking of my network marketing as my side hustle, how many of you guys call it your side hustle? As my extra money, I flipped my switch and I said, wow, those guys are going to pay me 6 figures plus salary, extra money, so I can figure out my business, so I can build my business. I started thinking of my job as extra money and my business as my primary focus. It was just a mental switch. But in doing that, I started to understand what kind of life I could build. And I wrote down my first why statement. Okay, and I'm going to share this with you guys right now as my example. Oh, wait, hold on. I got to actually share the screen for you to see it. I'm looking at it. You can't see it? Here's what I wrote, my first why statement. By the way, less than 3 years ago, I wrote this down. My why, to create a life where I never have to worry about money again. I enjoy quality time with my family, and I'm present for my children on a daily basis. I'm healthy and full of energy. You're going to write something similar, but about you and what you need and what you want in your life. And when you write this down, it changes everything because now your intention is clear and it convicts you. It convicts you. There's going to be, things will happen to you in life. Some are big. Kristina shared, you guys know her story. She had something major happen to her recently, but it doesn't even have to be major. You could just be bored. You could just not feel like doing it today. How many of you just didn't feel like reaching out to people today? Let's be honest. Right? The why convicts you. I don't feel like doing it today. First of all, I'm going to show you in a second with Teamzy how easy it is. So then the easy part. Now imagine it's easy. You're still not going to feel like not doing it. Then you got to convict yourself with your why. Do I want to stay stuck in my current situation, or do I want, in my case, to be with my kids, to not be worried about money, right? To be present for my children. I have to decide, no, I don't want that, then I won't do my action steps today. Make sense? It convicts you. It's even stronger and more powerful when you share it with a success partner and hold each other accountable to it. Don't skip this part. I know I probably should have skipped it for sake of brevity tonight, but it's important. And I want you guys to go through this process for your own sakes so that you can be successful. The people who have been wildly successful in this business are no smarter, better than you are. You have everything you need to be just as successful. You need a reason to stick to it. And I'm going to teach you some skills tonight that will help you be more efficient at it. Make sense? Okay. Where am I? So whatever you write in this last box, by the way, whatever you type in this, text. When you hit, that's your why. When you hit continue, it'll publish it on your dashboard of Teamzy. Every day when you do your power hour, you read it to yourself. Okay, read it to yourself out loud, out loud. Last step is we're gonna get your contacts into Teamzy. If you've already got a team, you're gonna wanna go to your back office and get your team imported first. There's a video here that explains it. And then you're gonna get your customers imported second. If you don't have a team, you're new, you go straight to the third step, which is getting your Facebook friends imported into Teamzy, okay? There's videos here to help with, they even have written instructions. Look, I'll click on one so you can see. Oh, hello, everybody. This one just has the video. But if you go to, over to the Help Center to look at these videos, the Help Center is right here. They'll actually have them written out too. If you have any trouble with this stuff, you just hit the Help button, which floats around the bottom of Teamzy, right here. See this Help button right over here? You just click that and send us a message and my team will help you. There's no reason for you to ever get stuck on the technology. We'll make it as easy as we can. Okay, but you're gonna get all your lists, everybody you know into Teamzy, one place organized. No more pads of paper that you can't find when you need them. No more sticky note systems. How many of you guys are sticky note system people? It's okay, it's okay. No more spreadsheets that you fail to update. You're gonna have it all in one place. It's gonna be easy to get to. Lives in your computer, lives in your phone, lives everywhere you go. I know you guys don't go very far without your phones. So it's always there and you're super mega organized. Okay, once you get everybody imported into Teamzy, there's one more step before we can do our power hour. I'm gonna show you that right now. Over here on the left navigation, we're on the dashboard now. I'm gonna go over to Team. Team is your list of everybody you know. Everybody's your team. I just want you guys to understand. People are like, well, why are my prospects on Team? Everyone is your team in relationship marketing. Okay, they're either going to actually join your team as an ambassador, they're going to join your team as a customer, or they're going to be part of your team as an advocate, telling other people, oh, you need help with that? You need to talk to Eric. Okay, this is like your electronic Rolodex. Everybody's here. Now what we're going to do is, the last step is we're going to rank our relationships. Okay, it'll automatically bring you to this page in rank mode, and I'm going to turn it on right here from this menu after you've done a bulk import. But you can come here and turn it on anytime you want from this little menu right here. Okay, rank mode, ranking relationships is important. This is the principle behind it. You should spend more time with your best people. You should spend more time with your best people, okay? Why? 80% of your business will come from 20% of your relationships, okay? 80% of your business will come from 20% of your relationships. That's why we're going to talk to that 20% more often than the rest. Does this make sense? Here's another principle you need to know. If you don't prioritize relationships first, you can never prioritize time. If you don't prioritize relationships first, you can never prioritize time. Squeaky wheel gets the oil, right? Which means the turkeys in your life steal your time from the people you really love if you don't prioritize them first. All right, so what we're gonna do is, in rank mode, you're just gonna go down your list and you're just gonna click. If somebody's gonna be a 5-star, you just click on 5 stars. 4, just click on the 4. Okay, 3, whatever. This is a 5-star. You guys are familiar with these scales, right? 5 stars is awesome, 1 star is not, right? You want somebody to go down to 1, boom. You don't like somebody, you delete them, okay? You're gonna go down your list. Notice that most are 3 stars. Everybody will start as a 3-star by default, and the majority of your people will remain at 3 stars. So you're gonna just be looking for your favorite people, the people you like or that you feel are strong prospects, and you're gonna mark them up higher to 4 or 5 stars. Make sense to start? Let me explain to you what I mean by these rankings. A 5-star is somebody most likely to become a customer or ambassador, or an existing customer or ambassador that's a rock star. Or there's like your mom, your favorite people. They're your 5-star relationships, okay? They come up the most. They're gonna come up for you to connect with, just to say hi every 30 days. Okay, you're not going to have a lot of 5-star people because that's really often to be connecting with people. But you'll have a couple dozen if you've got a lot of great relationships. 4 stars, people, these are people, someone likely to become a customer or ambassador with a little bit of nurturing. Okay, or they're the existing people on your team that are consistent performers, or they're just, you know, your friends, your the people that you like. They're going to show up every 60 days to connect. 3 stars can go either way, so they show up every 90 days. Most people on your list will be 3 stars. They're people that you know, but maybe you don't have a great, real strong relationship with yet. They're going to show up every 90 days. So you're connecting with them regularly, but not as often as the other ones. 2 stars are getting colder every 120 days. Does this make sense? The more stars, the more often you talk to them. Now, the cool thing about this is you don't have to worry about this. Once you've done it once, you never have to plan ever anything. No planning. You just turn on Teamzy and go. It'll tell you who's up today. Okay? It'll cycle people back automatically. You don't have to worry about it. Nobody falls through the cracks. How cool is that? So you won't go more than, 3 months without talking to somebody because they're in your Teamzy as long as you're doing your power hours. So now we've got it set up. Let's go ahead and crush a power hour together. Now you can see I'm going to work right here from the middle of my screen where it says power hour. This module in the center is the engine room of Teamzy. The left side are my who's up next lists: prospects, customers, ambassadors, and my follow-ups list. 4 lists. Each list gives me 5 names at a time. That's by design. That keeps me from getting overwhelmed, and it keeps me from skipping around too much so you can stay focused. Okay? The right-hand side is where I log my activity and track as I go. Easy. Okay, so let's get started. We start from left to right, and we're going to work through all 4 lists in our power hour. Okay? A power hour is basically this. The first half, you'll be connecting with prospects, customers, and ambassadors. And the second half, you'll be following up with people that you've invited to learn more about the business. Make sense? It's a system. You just follow the system. First person on my list is Kristina. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send her a Facebook message. Over here, I have up here on another tab, I have Facebook open and ready to use. Okay? So what I'm going to do first is now this is where you get stuck going, what the heck am I going to say to Kristina? How many of you guys might feel that way? How am I going to start this conversation with her without being icky, salesy, whatever? Right here in the bottom of the box, see where it says scripts? I've put some icebreakers that have worked great for me and now thousands of other people. Just grab one of these and use them. I'm going to grab a Facebook script. And I'm just going to get this first connect. Connect 1. Hi, Jane. Just stopping by to say hello. How are you? I hope your day is awesome. Little side note here. I had somebody once in one of my trainings say to me, I would never say awesome, and people aren't responding to my messages. I said, well, maybe it's something to do with the personality that doesn't feel life's awesome, that people are not responding to you, right? We had fun with that one. Okay, so anyways, copy the script. What I'm going to do with that is I'm just going to paste it in here so that I can edit it. I got to change the name first, right? This looks pretty good. I need an emoticon. Who's an emoticon addict? Anyone? I think emoticons are great. I really do. Because before emoticons, people read the wrong tone into our messages. Now you can throw a little happy face. Now she knows I really am just wanting to be happy. Look, this is what I want to do with this, is I want to make her day. I just want her to smile. That's my goal. I just want her to smile and go, oh, that's really nice of him to say that to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that. Because I have to actually send it in Facebook. Facebook doesn't let the app do it for us. So what we'll do is we'll look her up. She is. Boom. How great is this? So easy. Oops, wrong one. This one. Send message. It's all ready to go. Look at that. I'm just going to paste it in there. Hi, Kristina. Stopping by. Say hello. How are you? Hope your day's awesome. Make sure it's the way you want it. Send. Message sent. Now what I'm going to do is finish logging it in Teamzy. That was a Facebook message. I clicked the big blue log connect button to log it. So Teamzy told me who to connect with, helped me with what to say. I sent it, and now it's logged and tracked. Done. No going back and tracking it later. Next person on my list is Jay. I'm going to do the same thing. In fact, I'll use that same script. It's already on my clipboard. I'm just going to change the name to Jay. Always use their name. By the way, always use their name. Don't say, hey, sweetie, or hey, girl. Why is that? Because Facebook will see that you're sending the same message and think that you're some weird spammer. So you always want to personalize it, okay? Plus, it's better to personalize. So look, I got it the way I wanted. I copied it. Now I'm just going to look up Jay and send that. There she is. Send message. Bam. If you want to, you can, if you want to, you can click on their name and see their full record, before you send it. It's up to you. Personally, I don't do that because I get distracted looking at their lives. What if they don't even respond? I wasted all that time. If they respond, oh my gosh, great to hear from you. Now I'm going to go look at their page and I'm going to look at everything going on and I'm going to try to have a real conversation with them. Make sense? If they don't respond, guess what? I don't think about you for a heartbeat. If you don't respond, great. You're coming back on my dashboard in a month, 2 months, 3 months. I'll connect with you again then. Sometimes it takes a few messages before someone responds. How many times have you seen a message and meant to respond, but you got busy and then forgot it was there? Did that ever happen to you guys? Yeah. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about the non-responders. Just keep going. Talk to the people who do respond. So you can see, look, oh, I got to finish logging this one. Facebook message, big blue log connect. Look, I've got 2 done now. You notice that? I've got 8 more to go. How long do you think it'll take me to send that script 10 times? Super easy. Now, here's the thing. Your whole conversation won't be scripted. When they respond, then you have a conversation with them. Make sense? But have the discipline. Don't have conversations with them yet until you've finished your power hour. Okay? Otherwise, you'll get sidetracked. So if they start responding to me, I ignore it right now. I'm going to keep going down my list and get my outgoing messages out first. So I'm going to go down my prospects list one at a time until I get to my goal, which was 10. When that circle turns all the way blue, when I get to 10, I go to customers and start messaging them. Kelsey's the first person on my list. Same deal. I'm going to go to scripts. By the way, I've got some customer scripts too in here for you. Okay. Here's a great one for asking for a recommendation. Freddie, you're getting such great results. You must be feeling pretty good about the progress you're making. I'm planning my calendar now, looking at who I'll be able to help this month. And before it fills up, I wanted to ask you if there's anyone you care about that might like to learn more about Plexus. Great. Send me over their contact information. I'll get them some more information. Those scripts are in there for you to use, or just a simple one. Hi, John, how are you enjoying the products? Whatever products he uses. Send me an update. Let me know how I can be of help. Okay, you with me? Get a script. Boom. How are you enjoying, I don't know, product? Boom. Great. Oh, her name's Kelsey. You get the idea. This is why I do the editing in Teamzy and not in Facebook. That way I don't actually send it with the wrong name, which I have done, by the way. It's not a total loss because you can laugh it off and you're having a conversation when they go, my name's Kelsey. You're like, of course your name's Kelsey. What did I say? Oh, I'm an idiot. Oh, how funny. I get my kids' names wrong too. And then you're having a conversation, which was your goal. Okay, so again, you're gonna send that in Facebook, log it here, okay? And they're off the list. Now you've got one. You're gonna go down your list and connect with customers. Just really fast. How many of you wish you were better at staying in touch with customers? Do you see how easy it's going to be now? Here's what I want you to know. Teamzy makes it really simple. You don't need to talk to them every 32 days, right before their shipment and all that stuff. You don't have to make it complicated. Just put them in Teamzy and stay in touch with people. That's all. You'll just be in touch with them. Okay? It'll just be organic and natural. But here's the good news. When you are consistently in touch with customers, they order more product. Did you know this? If you're just in touch with people, they'll order more product. If they are on a recurring monthly order, they'll retain longer if you're in touch with them. Okay? These are statistically true. If you get your team using Teamzy, even for a 30-day free trial, you'll notice volume go up considerably because everyone's in touch with customers. It's pretty cool. The other thing, how many of you wish you had some new customers right now? In fact, if I told you where to go, you jump off the call and go after them, right? Okay. Do you know what's the best source for a new customer? Do you guys know where to go? The absolute best place to find a new customer. Who knows the answer to this one? You guys know it already. It's from your current customers, right? Your current customer is the best source for new customers. This is why you got to be in touch with people. Look, listen, just really quick. I don't have time to get deep into this. I wish I had an hour just to train you on this because it's fun. Your customers, how many of you have at least one customer who loves the product, is having transformational experience? Yeah. that person or persons, you may have multiple people, they're doing what people do. They're telling other people about what they're experiencing. Did you know that 80, what is it? It's like, I don't know, I think it's 85 or 80. I get my stats. There's one that's 85, one that's 86, one that's 86. Anyways, it's like 85 or better percent of people who make purchasing decisions based on recommendations of their friends. Are you guys like that? So you've got customers telling their friends how amazing these products are. Those people are most likely to make a product decision based on that recommendation. So where are you? You got to be getting introduced to these people by staying in touch with your customers. Okay? Every single one of those people who's loving it should be introducing you to new people. By the way, it's the best way to recruit new ambassadors, because when they tell you they have 3 friends who are interested, you go, oh, this is a perfect opportunity to sign you up and get you started with them. Make sense? So you got to be reaching out to your customers consistently. That's why Teamzy makes it so easy to do. And then when you're done reaching out to your customers for the day, you go to your ambassadors. You reach out to your ambassadors. You connect. You make their day. As you build your team, I know some of you don't have huge teams, so it's easy right now. When your team's huge, it'll be harder. But they need you. They need you. They need to be connected to you. Being on a Facebook group, doing Zoom calls, that's not the same thing. Okay, they need that relationship with you. Trying to get in focus again. There we go. That's why we call it Teamzy, by the way, because it's about your team. It's about building a team. Okay, next. Again, there's some scripts in there. You're just going to reach out to them, send them a message. I'm proud of you. I'm thinking of you. Can I help you? Is there anything I can do to make your day today? Okay. When you're done with your prospects, your customers, your ambassadors, your outgoing messages, then you'll go to your follow-ups list. And you'll find this empty follow-ups list. Why? Because follow-ups don't happen automatically in Teamzy. You have to set follow-ups. You have to put people on this list. Who do we put on this list? We put the people who are interested in learning about the business on this list, the ones that we've invited. So how does this work? Let me just give you an example. I'm talking to Kristina. Hi, Kristina. How are you? Hope you're having a great day. She says, oh my gosh, that's so nice of you, Eric. I'm having a great day now. Thanks for reaching out. I'm great. How are you? Right? You might get something like that. Now my goal is, now that she's responded, my goal is to engage her in conversation. Okay? So I'm going to say things like, well, tell me what you've been up to. Send me an update. You know, I'm trying to get her to tell me something more than I'm good or this little thumbs up thing. Sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes, you know, you just got to let them go back into the Teamzy flow. But in a lot of cases, I'll engage her and she'll tell me, oh, you know, we've been busy, or I've been going through this, or this is what we've been doing. And they'll share. And what you're doing as you're having a conversation with somebody is you are trying to find, you're listening for ways that you can help this person. Okay, you're not looking for a way to sell them or squeeze your business in there or recruit them. I mean, if that opportunity presents itself, you should go there. But I'm saying your job is to find a way to help them. You're listening. You're listening for wants, needs, complaints. Complaints often are the most commonly expressed need. And a lot of times people will joke. Have you noticed that people joke when they complain? This is a huge opportunity, because when people joke their complaints to you, they don't expect you to take it seriously. When you do, it makes a deep impact. Okay? So listen for those, find ways to help them. How can you recommend help, an article, a book, somebody, and connect them to somebody you know, whatever you can do to help them. Somebody might need, they might just need a prayer today. They might need a new dentist for their kids. I don't know. Listen and find ways to help them. Let them know that that's why you're here, is for the relationship. Now, in many cases, you know, as you're having this conversation and you're finding out what's going on with them and you're helping them, they'll say, well, what about you? What have you been up to? Honestly, for me, it doesn't matter if they ask that, I'll still tell them at the end. I don't know if you've been following my journey or not, but I recently lost 60 pounds and it's totally changed everything in my life. Wow. That's so cool. Good for you, Eric. Now, what's your story? You all have a story, right? That's my story. She goes, wow, that's great for you. Yeah. And you know, it's been so life-changing that now I've become really passionate about paying it forward and helping other people do the same. So I started this business where I'm helping people get fit, healthy, with nutrition and you know, supplements and just a healthy living lifestyle. And it's been the best thing ever. Wow, that's so great. Okay. When I share my business with people, It's not a, can you help me in my business or can you buy from my business? I want them to know that I'm on a mission. And my goal is for them to emotionally support it. Does it make sense? Wow, that's so cool. Good for you. I'm proud of you. That's great. That should be their response. I'm just going to let that sink in for a second. And then I'll plant a seed. You know, Kristina, if you know anybody who needs help with this, whatever it is that you help with, whatever it is you specialize, your passion. In my case, I'll give you an example. Somebody who wants to lose some weight or get healthy or work on their nutrition or, you know, anything like that. If you know anybody like that, hello, does anyone know anybody like that? I just want you to know I'd be honored to help. If you could connect us, I'd get them some more information. It's my passion to help people like that. And I don't know, maybe even you might have interest in learning more. I'm here for you too. Okay, Eric, that's great, right? That's how I plant a seed. That is how the conversation turns to planting the seed. Now, two things can happen. She can say, thank you, Eric. That's so great. I will keep that in mind, which will happen most of the time, right? Which is perfect. She's right where I want her. I want her thinking about what I do as it comes up when people say, I need to lose 10 pounds. I want her to go, you need to talk to my friend Eric. Make sense? However, what will often happen, what didn't happen a lot is she says, truth be told, I might be interested in learning a little bit about what you're doing. Well, great. You know, Kristina, if you're interested in learning more, I'd be happy to talk to you some more. Why don't we jump on a call? You have a minute. We'll jump on a call. I'll just ask you some questions, find out your goals, see what you need to accomplish, and see if it's something I can help with. She says, that sounds great. Are you guys with me? Now I'm transitioning this conversation, which was just a great conversation, to an invite. So we jump on a call. I'm asking her questions. What are your goals? What do you hope to achieve? Blah, blah, blah. You know, I'm trying to figure out, does she need help with product? Does she want to pursue the business? I don't know. And as we're talking about it, I tell her, you know, I'm gonna send you some recommendations for some products that I think could really help you. And if you'd like to learn more about the business opportunity, we've got an event tonight. It's going to be live on the internet. I can send you the link. You can jump on that. She says, that'd be great. So now what I'm doing is I'm going to invite her to buy products, and I'm going to invite her to my business opportunity meeting because we're having a great conversation. So great. I'm going to send you the email right now, Kristina. It'll have information on the 3 products we discussed and links for you to go ahead and order those. And then I'll also send the link for the virtual event tonight. You can jump on that. I'll connect with you tomorrow, Kristina, and see if you have any questions. Sound good? Great. So we're having this invite. Now I'm going to go back to Teamzy and log it. Okay? So I can follow up on this invite. How am I doing on time? Oh, I got to hurry. I'm over, aren't I? Okay. Come on. There we go. Not you. I was talking to my computer. It's never fast enough. Anybody feel like the computers are never fast enough? I wanted it just to be like in my brain, except not actually in my brain. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to look her up in the lookup bar because she's not on my dashboard anymore. This will bring me to her record. There she is. This is her record on the team page. This will have all our contact info, all of my notes, all of the things we've talked, you know, all of our activities logged. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click this big blue connect button to open that box up again. This time I'm going to click on invite. See right there, invite? Take it off the default connect, and I'm going to put it on opportunity call. Okay? And then I'm going to put notes of what I sent her. If I sent her an email, which I said I was going to send her, I would probably just paste the whole email in here, or even send it from Teamzy so it auto logs. You get the idea. But let's just put in here some notes. Opportunity call. Okay. Notice that Teamzy is now set automatically because I put invite. It's automatically set a follow up for me 2 days from now. You can change that. That's just a fail safe in case you forget. But I told her I'd follow up tomorrow, so I'm going to set it for tomorrow. Okay. Now there's a follow up set. When I log this, I say it was an email I said I was going to send. When I log this, it's going to log the invite and set the follow up. Okay. So now you can see there's a follow up set for her on my dashboard. I've got 1 invite logged. With me? Does that make sense? So power hour, connecting with prospects, then customers, then ambassadors, then working all the follow-ups that you've set throughout the weeks prior. Okay? So when I get to this list tomorrow, I see she's on my follow-ups list. I'm going to follow up with her. How I do it is super easy. I go to scripts again, and I get Eric's trusty follow-up scripts, which rock. Follow-up script number 1. Hi, Jane, just checking in like I promised I would. What questions do you have for me? Great, that's a great script. My little workhorse. Okay, I'm done with you. You can go away now. Boom, change the name. Ready to go, right? Got the name ready. Boom, copy that. It sends just like a regular connect. Send message. Send. Follow-up sent. Go back to Teamzy. Now, what I want to do on this, before I log this, pay attention. This is really important. I got to set a new follow-up. She needs to stay on my follow-ups list until she converts. I'm going to follow up like a pro till she converts. I'm going to put it 2 days out, the next follow-up, okay? Logged. Now, when it's due again on Wednesday, when I come in here, I can go to activity. I can see what I sent last time, and I can go to connect, get the next script. By the way, I put 10 follow-up scripts in order, numbered in Teamzy for you to use. Super easy. But this is really important. The fortune's in the follow-up, right? Is this like the my why thing? You guys know this, but don't do it. How many people know this statistic? 80% of all sales happen between the 7th and 10th follow-up. Anybody have heard that? 80% of all sales happen between the 7th and 10th follow-up. Most people follow up in 3 times and feel like they're doing a great job following up, right? And you're like, they haven't responded at all to 3 follow-ups. I'm moving on. How many of you guys have felt that way in the past? Normal. It's normal. But I want you to know the way human beings are wired, the way we're programmed. We talked about that whole subconscious mind thing earlier. Remember that? Most people won't respond to even 5 or 6 messages. They won't even respond to them. And these people are interested. They respect you. They like you. And they think what you're doing is exciting. And they still don't respond. Why? It's just, I don't have time to get into it. It's just the way we're wired. You need to know this. 80% of all sales happen between the 7th and the 10th follow-up. So if you want to be doing this business successfully, you got to follow up 10 times. How many of you guys are like, Karen looked like her eyeballs are about to pop out of her head right now. Here's the thing. There's 2 reasons why you're not doing that already. 1, because you don't have Teamzy yet. And you're just, there's nobody could be that organized to follow up that many times. You lose them. They fall through the cracks, right? The real reason is how many of you don't do that because you feel like you would be so annoying. People would hate you if you did that. Yeah. And the way you're doing it, it could be that could be true. I'm going to teach you though, there is a way to follow up 10 times and not be annoying and people will thank you profusely for it. Okay. But first off, just real quick mindset shift. I'm going to just finish this off really fast and then let you guys do some questions. I know I've been talking a long time. The mindset shift is this. How many of you really feel like you can change lives through the products and through the business opportunity? That's why you're here. Good. I'm talking to the right people. If they don't ever purchase the product or join your team, are you able to change their life? No. And the only way that will happen for 80% of the people you're talking to is by following up 7 to 10 times. So if you truly care about people and you want to help them, you have to follow up more, which means following up is an act of love. Following up is an act of love. Okay? Once you understand that your follow-up is an act of love, the way you do it will completely change. Instead of you thinking following up is me getting something from them and that's why I feel gross doing it, you're going to go, I need to love this person through this process. I need to follow up with them. On the flip side, failing to follow up for whatever reason you've invented in your head why you're not going to follow up anymore, tells them this, I don't care enough about you. I really was in it just for the sale and you made it hard for me, so I've moved on. Harsh, right? But that's what you communicate. Think about it. Think about when somebody failed to follow up with you and you felt that way. Well, I guess they didn't care about it, right? When you follow up using the way I'm going to teach you right now, people will thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for following up with me. I so appreciate it because they're going to understand, they're going to feel that this was an act of love for you. Now, here's 2 principles. You follow these 2 principles and you'll never be annoying. Are you ready? You don't even have to know these, by the way. Just use my scripts. They already follow these principles. The first one is this. Don't ask them to do anything in your follow-up. You're not even asking them to respond to your follow-up, okay? Don't ask them to do anything. Don't ask them, call me back. Don't ask them to text me. Don't ask them to do anything. Nothing, okay? The second thing is you want the follow-up to be seen. Your goal is for it to be seen. That's it. So you're going to send it in a Facebook message or a text message, and it's going to be short enough they can read it without opening it as a notification on the phone. See? Kristina knows this. Why? How many times do you get a message and you see it? You're not going to open it right now because you can't respond because you're doing something else, right? And if it's longer than what you can read, how irritated are you because now you have to open it to see the rest of it, right? Don't make them irritated with you. You want them to see the message. It's going to be positive. It's going to be hopeful. They're going to feel your enthusiasm in it. And it's going to be short enough they can see the whole thing so they have nothing but good feelings for you. Make sense? And understand most people won't respond to the first 5 or 6 messages. Around number 6, you'll start getting responses like this. I am so sorry I haven't responded, or I haven't looked at the link you sent me, or I haven't done jack diddly squat. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for following up with me. I really appreciate it. See, when you tell somebody you're going to follow up and you do it, they understand that you're someone to be trusted. Make sense? So shift your mindset. You're in this to help people. Help them by loving them through the follow-up process. Teamzy makes it easy. You go and you do your power hour. You connect with your prospects, your customers, your ambassadors. You do your follow-ups. You're done with your power hour. You just do it daily. So much fun. Okay? Now, how do I finish her off when she's signed up? What I'll do is I'll go to her record. I can do it by clicking her name here or looking her up. I'm going to log the sale. She got her welcome pack. She came in. Great. I might tag all the products that she got, right? I spell it right so you don't have weird tags. I can't spell it. Come here. There you go. It keeps autocorrecting me. Don't autocorrect, Teamzy. Stop it. Whatever. We're just going to call it Slim today. Can't get it to work. All right. If I can't get it to work, no one can, right? No, but I always like to tag what products I got. Great. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take her from member type, prospect, click on ambassador to put her on my team, personally sponsored. I've taken her through the whole process, right? If she just got products, then I'll just make her customer. Either way, I've moved her over. Okay? All right, real quick, if you've got questions, I know there's more I could show you, but I've already talked to you too long. If you have questions, just unmute and go ahead and ask away. I'll take a few questions and then we'll bless you guys and send you on your way.
I have a question for you. I realize that I am not doing follow-up like I should be. I've been using Teamzy for a few months now. How often do you do follow-up without getting a response? Do you still do 2 days and then you send the second follow-up after 2 days and then the next follow-up 2 days?
I don't have an exact formula, but just kind of trust your gut on it. I like to, if somebody's really interested, like it's a strong invite, okay? Like, so they were like, yes, I want to do this. And you sent them the links to get a program or whatever. It's a strong invite. I would follow up 3 days in a row while they're hot. This is just, this is what I would do because they're most likely to pull that trigger in those first 3 days. After that, I'd start backing it off. You know, and then maybe a couple days later, maybe 3 days later, maybe 4 days later, maybe a week later, just follow your gut. But for me, it's kind of like the follow-ups start to space out a little bit to maybe about 4 days apart, 4 or 5 days apart once I get down the road a little bit, if that makes sense. And then, but understand that they won't respond and that's okay. Okay, they won't respond. If you follow those scripts in Teamzy, though, they'll say things like, hey, I'm just staying present like I said I would. So when you're ready, I'm here, you know, that kind of stuff. Because that's what the emotion you want them to have, which is, I understand that you're busy and doing this might not be your number one priority on your to-do list right now, but I'm here for you. Like I said I would be. I care about you. And when you're ready, I'll be here. Okay, and that, if you keep that spirit going, that's when you'll get the thank you and I'm sorry and then things go. Here's what I have found. Of the people who will convert, I should probably like really measure this so I can say with certainty, like, here's the formula. But my personal experience is people will buy in the first 3 days, or they'll take 2, 3, 4 months. It's like you either get them quick or it takes longer to nurture them. Does that make sense? And with Teamzy, instead of going, oh my gosh, this person is taking 3 months, commit already. It's like, don't even think about it. It's like, who's on my list today? She's on my list again today. Follow up again. Boom. Put her on my list for next week.
All right, one more question. If I see that person in person, do I mention anything about the follow-up, or I would just say, hey, just good to see you? I struggled with that the other day. I saw somebody at Walmart and I had been following up, never got a response. I saw her in person. I was like, do I even mention it, or do I just, does that make sense?
I would totally mention it.
Okay.
I'd be like, hey, Karen, how are you? Oh, great. Say, I've been messaging you because I just want you to know, I've been messaging you, and I told you I'd stay following up with you, and it's just because I love you and I'm here when you're ready.
Okay.
And that's totally cool. And so what else is going on with you? Like, have a conversation and just let them know that. Now, one of my favorite things to do, you gotta use your gut and do it contextually. I know I'm really white right now. I have this like bright ring light right now, and it's like, it's okay. One thing that I love to do is to tell a story of somebody who did commit when the other person should have, who's getting great results.
Mm.
Now, this is, you don't want to do it in a way that's obnoxious, but, I want you to know I'm ready when you are. It's been an amazing group, the people who started last month. I've got one person, Mary, who's down 18 pounds and 6 inches. It's pretty amazing. Oh my gosh, she's doing great. And so when you're ready, I'm here to help. Okay, or whatever the example is. I know, for example, one of my good friends had high blood pressure and was always on high blood pressure medication. And her blood pressure was so great. She was 49 years old. Doctor told her she's probably going to die in the next 5 years if this continues. Isn't that crazy? And in 2 months, using nutritional products and getting her healthy, she got off her high blood pressure medication altogether. That's a story I would tell. Oh, my good friend was able to get off her high blood pressure medication. I'm not saying that that's going to happen for you, but I will say your body has an amazing ability to heal itself when you feed it right, when you take care of it, right? So share success stories that are happening, and it's that kind of fear of missing out thing is a big deal when you come across those people who have been kind of on the fence for a long time. Does that make sense? I would love to see results like that for you. So again, the most important thing when doing this, and I think you guys are getting it, focus on helping people, not on getting the sale. But understand that you have to get the sale to help them. Okay? So really what I'm looking for is your commitment, not your money. I need your commitment. How do you commit? You commit by getting the product. But I want to help you. I need you to commit so I can help you. Does this make sense? So, and people used to say to me, I know you want to make this sale. I'd go, look, yes, I do want to make this sale, and this is how I make a living, but I want you to know that the $40 commission I'm going to get when you make this purchase is not going to make or break my life, but it could make or break yours. So don't be attached to the money, and let them know that. Like, yes, I will get compensated for this if we get it going, but like, right? Isn't it usually like your commission isn't huge per person? Just let them know, like whatever it is. In this case, this is going to be an $80 commission for me. That's nice, but that's not going to, I've got 4 kids. That's not going to change my life, but this program could change yours. And that's why I'm following up with you. So just get your heart in that place and align your message to that mission that you're on. And people will get it. They'll understand it. They'll respect it. They'll fall in love with it. They'll refer people to you. They'll become your advocates. And you will find that your work is so much more fulfilling, right? You'll be hitting your goals, but it'll be so much more fulfilling. And you just got to have that confidence. This is what I do. I help people with this. Figure out what it is that you help people with. This is what I do for a living. I help people with this. I'm an expert at this. And I want to help you too. You know, like, right? How many of you have gone to a doctor and found them insecure about giving advice to you? I know you're not a doctor, but you need to have that confidence of, this is what I do. This is how I help people. And then just have a system like Teamzy that keeps you organized and right on top of it. Make sense? Okay. What other questions do you guys have? Anyone else? Let's do two more questions.
Okay, so I've got a question. Do you find, I feel like in an effort to reach out authentically, I often find myself taking more time on the initial message to say something more personal than just, hey, I hope your day is going great. However, I'm thinking with all of your experience, you've seen, hey, maybe that isn't even necessarily needed. And so I'm curious, I guess I'm curious in your experience that you've seen, hey, I can get just as authentic conversations going with just using a short little script, the same script for 10 people. Does that make sense? Because to me, I would think, oh gosh, I should say like, I saw your post today about your kid's t-ball game and look how cute he was or something, but maybe that's me being too insecure about the reach out.
Yes. So yes. Thank you. See you good night. Have a good night. I'm just kidding. We call it overthinking.
Okay.
And I have to tell you, I did the same thing, Katie. And what I would find is in my power hour, I would reach out to 4 people that way. What I found out was, yes, the simple script gets just as good a response rate. And then you can have the authentic conversation in the next statement. Hey, just reaching out to say hi, I hope your day's great. Oh, thanks. And now you can say, I saw your post with your kid in T-ball, it was great. But see, you don't need to spend time researching their Facebook until they respond. This helps you get it done and be efficient. And then the ones that, because only, 50%, if you're doing great, respond. Typically your response rate, guys, will be about 40 to 50%. Okay. Which is really good, by the way. That's really good. But I mean, that means that half the people you spent time researching their Facebook and you didn't need to. Make sense? So I think that is overthinking it. And I think you'll find you do just as well, just sending out the easy icebreakers. But then it's great as you're having the conversation to dig into that profile and learn a little bit more. Okay. You can use that to kind of ask better questions about what's going on. Obviously if they just had a baby. But I mean, for me, it's like people will go, we're doing great. We just had a baby. And I'll go, oh my gosh, congratulations. Oh, I'm looking at the pictures right now. She's beautiful. You know what I mean? As the follow-up. Now we're having a conversation. It's like, oh, it's just reaching out. So there's your answer. It's better to get your 20 connects out than to have 5 of them be perfect and that's all you get out.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. So
yeah.
Here's the other thing. If you're a good person and people know your heart, this is something that has come across, because I've come across some people in my journey who haven't had that kind of heart for people, right? You guys know people like that? And they're like, people are super skeptical of me when I send that message. And it's like, yeah, in your case, based on what I'm learning about you, it might take you a while to earn trust with people because you've been selfish in the past or you've approached them selfishly. If you're an authentic person, then they'll get it right away. People are going to be like, oh, great to hear from you. Okay. So I just want you guys to know, depending on where you are, if you've been in network marketing for a while and you've followed the advice of other trainers and you felt icky and you feel like you've damaged relationships, I've got a great apology script that Kristina can share with you. Kristina, you have that script in your notebook, right? If you need that to kind of rebuild those bridges you may have burned. But again, if people know you and they know who you are, just saying, hey, they're going to be like, oh, great to hear from you. Okay.
Yeah.
One more question. Anyone have another one? Oh, see. Go ahead, Karen.
I'll take it. Well, I have a whole list of questions, but I guess my top one, I need to go to Kristina for that apology one because I've done a lot of the cold messaging. Like, hey, I don't know if this may or may not be for you. Is that something that you totally pull back from and you don't do those? You just recommend chatting casually building that relationship. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't like to do anything that I don't like being done to me.
Okay.
So think about when somebody propositions you from another network marketing company and they cold invite you out of the blue. How do you like it?
Mm-hmm.
Same thing goes with leading my team. I mean, I don't have a team anymore, but I mean, I would not ask anyone on my team to do anything that I don't want to do. Even if some lordly upline says this is the way to do it. If I'm not going to do it, I don't want to ask them to do it. And that's just the way I am. So I don't like to reach out to people in ways that I don't like. Just like I would never call somebody on the phone unannounced, because I hate it when my phone rings unannounced with unknown numbers. How many of you guys are like that? So I wouldn't employ things that irritate me. Now, can you get sales that way? Yes, but that's not what I'm going for. I'm going for advocacy. I want you and everyone you know, and I want, right? I don't want just one bag of product from you. I want the whole shebang. I want everything from you, right? I want your kids in my team as soon as they're old enough. So I used to joke, I sold Shakeology shakes, right? And I was like, if you're drinking Shakeology, before the year's out, your parents are drinking Shakeology, right? Older folks need this nutrition. Let's go. Let's get your parents on this, right? So like I was, that was my goal, was I'm going to work on this value so that you see the value in everybody in your life is impacted by it. So it's just a switch. Now, at the same time, we don't want to get totally passive where all you ever do is chit chat. You need to share your story. And earlier today, when I explained to you guys how I would share what I'm doing in such a way that I want them to know I'm on a mission, I want them to be excited for what I'm doing and be proud of me for it. And then I'm going to plant the seed with them to start thinking about people who they know that I can help, or them, right? So that's the way I would share the business. Instead of, are you interested in this? Is this something you're interested in? I want them to know I'm on a mission, right? And then they're going to think, so their first emotion is, wow, that's so cool that he's on that mission. Now it's easier for me to frame down the road, would you like to join me in this mission? Make sense?
Mm-hmm. Very much so. Thank you.
It's dense. I know it's dense, and you're not going to get it on one training call. Okay. It's going to be it's a process. It's personal growth. It's practice. It's learning about it. But the first thing is just getting your heart aligned with what you want to achieve and how you want to help people, and starting to message that out. And it's going to be awkward, and it's going to be, you're going to feel weird at first. And it's just, that's kind of a process that you guys need to go through. But for those of you who are looking at this for the first time, what I want you to take away from this is, oh my gosh, I need to go get my free trial started at Teamzy. All right, let's just start with step one. Get your free trial started at Teamzy. It's free, teamzy.com. Get that done. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
All right, you guys, we've spent some time together. I need to go kiss my kids goodnight and get them tucked in. Thank you so much, Kristina, for having me. Thank you for your trust. I'm honored that you've been a member of my boot camps. And so thank you for sharing your team with me and bringing me on. Hopefully you guys got a good value from this. God bless you. Have a great night.
Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.